fans looking for action? Well, you'll get a big bang out of this.
Traverse City hosts final race in Triple Crown Series. 63 offshore racers compete on Lake Michigan. Thunder on the Bay meets thunder in the sky at Traverse City. Grand Traverse Bay swamped by 300,000 race fans. The war offshore heats up in the Midwest. Offshore fever epidemic runs rampant in Michigan. Marine Machine brings us inside racing. Mr. Ricky tells us how he runs his offshore news empire. Midnight Express takes us behind the scenes with public relations superstar Jill Berg. We'll learn just what it takes to land a big-name sponsor. The Laser Racing Engine brings us Mechanics Corner, and Rick Williams explains the importance of specialized fuel in offshore racing. David Masters Featured Race Team Series presents America's ultimate race team, the Blue Angels. We'll talk to the ace pilots who campaign these Navy jets over 100 times a year. So join us on a low-altitude, high-speed flight around the racecourse as we chase these 100-mile-an-hour offshore racing machines. All this and more in this edition of the Offshore Powerboat Race Report.
APBA, the American Powerboat Association. It's challenge, fun, and excitement. Whether it's unlimited hydroplanes, offshore, outboard hydros, and runabouts, inboard or drag, the APBA offers 9 categories of excitement. Racing, officiating, and just plain spectating are a few of the many benefits APBA membership affords you. Send your $30 and join the APBA today.
Not all transom brackets are created equal. In fact, it can take 5 of theirs to equal 1 of ours. That's why B-Bracket is the world's best-selling multi-engine transom bracket. Our multi-engine B-Brackets are engineered for double, triple, 4-engine, even 5-engine applications. These days, everyone knows the installation of a transom bracket will improve both the looks and performance of your boat. The installation of a B-Bracket will prove you know better. B-Brackets, designed for those who know better.
The 7th race of the 1989 APBA OPT circuit is the Grand Traverse Offshore Classic. 63 race teams have assembled on the shoreline of Traverse Bay off Lake Michigan, and they're getting ready to participate in what has been called the nation's biggest Labor Day sporting event. The racers were welcomed to town in style. The people of Traverse City kicked off the event with a parade, and the racers joined in too, boat style. thunder in the bay was matched by thunder from the sky. The Navy's precision flying team was on hand to perform breathtaking maneuvers. David Master Corporation proudly presents America's ultimate race team, the Blue Angels.
Well, I have to tell you right off the bat that the most difficult maneuver is the driving to the airport, because usually where we're coming from, we have to be in a police escort just to get through the crowds that are going to the air show. As for the show itself, no one maneuver really holds any more difficulty than another, at least from my perspective. It's just a total concentration. It's much like a ballet. We choreograph every maneuver in sequence, and there's very little variation from day to day in the routines. Actually, it's quote unquote, it was delivered to the military as a maintenance-free aircraft, which it's a very good aircraft maintenance-wise. There are a lot of repairs that you have to do on board. We're here anywhere from 8 to 20 hours a day maintaining them. On a good day, we'll spend an hour or two after they land back on the deck, repairing them, normal routine maintenance, and hopefully we're out here before the sun goes down. Underneath right now, we're working on a camera pod McDonnell Douglas has attached on board, where it takes pictures in flight forward and both to the sides, which is controlled or remote controlled from the ground by these individuals.
No, we use this particular pod to mount a various assortment of cameras inside of it to gain all kinds of aerial footage from different angles, and we can mount this pod on any of the airplanes in the formation. Today we had a side-pointing motion picture camera with a very wide-angle lens looking off to the #1 pilot's left wing, and then we had a 35mm still camera for slides, and then pointing out the back of the pod was another 16mm motion picture camera.
You come in and you start checking from the very tip of the nose all the way to the back of the aircraft. You come down to the side, the other individual will be on the other side. Come down to the side, check antennas for stability, ensure that they're not loose. You check the doors for stability, and go up actually into the nose area of the aircraft, which there are some gauges up here that you have to check for certain PSI. You go back through here and ensure that there's no hydraulic leaks. That's one of the major things that we're looking for, is hydraulic leaks. You check the nose landing gear, check the angle of attack lights, check the air pressure in the tires, while the other individuals on the other side doing the same thing for this side of the strut. Again, ensuring that there are no hydraulic leaks, and check the position of the door fasteners. You come away from the intake, ensuring not to go to the intake, and you'll start at the wingtip. And you check for stability on the wing. On the Lao 7, this is a missile launcher. Naturally, we don't use missiles with the Blue Angels. Check the flaps and slats, check for any hydraulic leaks among the areas. Check for hydraulic leaks at the wing fold area. Again, the most important thing is that there are no leaks or surface areas that are in a position of unflyability. It's obviously Navy's most elite flying team and squadron. It's a very sought-after billet whenever they come available, and the team rotates out every year. We change 3 people out of the 6 demo pilots.
The Diamond is approaching for a maneuver I'm sure is familiar to many of you who might have seen the Blue Angels perform in the past. From the right, at 400 miles per hour, the Diamond roll. All 4 aircraft rolling as one in this graceful 360-degree rolling maneuver.
A driver's meeting is held the day before the race. Racers are acquainted with the race rules and specifics of the course. Back in the dry pits, the boats are being readied for inspection. After passing inspection, giant cranes move the boats into the water. The wet pits are bustling early race day morning as mechanics make last-minute preparations on the race boats. Race fans gather around to catch a last glimpse of their heroes. Vendors sell their merchandise to souvenir hunters. The racers are taking physicals to ensure that they're strong enough to take the punishment ahead. Race officials plan the logistics of the day ahead, and rescue teams are standing by. Everyone in sight has a job to do and a role to play in today's exciting event. We'll be right back with the start of the race after these messages. For dynamic racing action, don't miss our entire series. The Offshore Powerboat Race Report is available by mail order at each race site and at many popular high-performance dealers. Tapes for the current race are available for shipping within 10 days. Just call 305-386-1154 for information about the dealer nearest you. You can keep up with the racing action all year long because the next checkered flag is just one tape away.
Some people think that Davittmaster sells the world's finest premium boat lift equipment. The truth is, we sell peace of mind. Over 50,000 customers throughout the United States and abroad have trusted us to protect their boating investments. Our reputation for rigorous quality control, factory testing, and reliable service through our nationwide dealer network gives us the right to say that at Davittmaster, we sell more than boat lift equipment. We sell peace of mind.
Well, welcome back to the 1989 Grand Traverse Offshore Classic. Today's race comes to you from Traverse City, Michigan. Superboats and open class will be running a total of 157 miles. UIM2 and Pro Stock boats will run a 125-mile race. Stock class runs 118 miles, and sportsman class boats will run 69 miles.
Welcome to the 1989 Grand Traverse Bay Offshore Classic. Today's race is brought to you on video by Babe Productions. We'll be covering the race course from the water with our boat cams at checkpoint 5 and at the start and finish line. We'll be bringing you the action from the air as we sweep the course with our helicopter point of view camera. The delayed race start has kept the boats in the milling area longer than usual. Some teams may have to slow down on the course to make up for the extra fuel they're using in the milling area. They save weight and increase their speeds by not overfueling the boats. Here's a boat that hasn't slowed down. It's Agitator. They've sprinted off the starting line and are leading the entire pack. Right behind is Superboat Eric's Reality. It's an unusual sight to see a Superboat trailing a UIM2 class boat. The UIM2 class started with the Superboats and the open class today. The first hot contest of the day is in Pro Stock. First Defense and Miss Don Q Rum are really going at it. First Defense is edging Miss Don Q Rum out of the lead. First Defense is owned and driven by Mike Novick. Ed Martinez throttles the boat. Right now, Mike Novick is demonstrating the style that earned him the Rookie of the Year title in 1988. Both of these boats are 32-foot skater catamarans. Miss Don Q Rum is currently the leader in the National High Points contest in Pro Stock. First Defense is in second place in that contest. Right now in this race, those roles are reversed. It's First Defense leading Miss Don Q Rum. Miss Don Q Rum is owned and throttled by Felix Sorales. His brother Juan Sorales is the driver. This team has won 4 times in the 6 national races they've run this year. Only Eric's Reality and Superboat class has had a better record. Sorales brothers have a substantial point lead over First Defense. Right now, they can't seem to get ahead of First Defense on this race course. First Defense and Miss Don Q Rum are dueling it out at speeds over 110 miles an hour. We didn't expect to see speeds this fast because the water on Traverse Bay is usually pretty rough. Just 2 days ago, there was 4-foot chop all over the bay. The winds calmed down, and now the bay is flat. We can expect to see a very fast race today and possibly a lot of attrition. In Sportsman's D class, we see Hawk Marine Power. This 38-foot cigarette started the season in open class. Manny Fernandez gave it up to campaign a Jaguar catamaran. Hugo Colombo is running this V-bottom in D class. Here's another boat that has recently changed classes. It's Double Cross. Karen and Michael Cross haven't had much luck campaigning this boat in stock class. Today they're running in Sportsman C class. E25 Warrior is a 41-foot Apache V-bottom. Orlando Gomez is the driver, and Rolando Piega throttles the boat. Luis Sanchez is the navigator. This is one of the 3 Deep V boats running in D class today. Even though the water conditions favor the catamarans, it's the Deep Vs that are leading the race. Warrior is currently running in 2nd place in Sportsman's D behind Hawk Marine Power. At the start-finish line, we see Panther's Pleasure from Sportsman's A-Class. Agitator has maintained the overall race lead as we pass the start-finish line. Eric's Reality leads Superboat class. Team Skater is in 2nd place in UIM2 class. Number 39, Assault, is the open class leader. Number 26, Hawk Marine Power, is in 2nd place in open class. US 1 Special Edition is running in 3rd place in open class and 6th place overall in today's race. Jesse James is in 2nd place in Superboat behind Eric's Reality. Little Caesars Pizza is in 3rd place in Superboat class. He's followed by Spirit of America and Chairman of the Board, running 4th and 5th places in open class. Estan Q Rum has taken the Pro Stock lead from First Defense. First Defense is running 2nd in Pro Stock. Team Skater is 3rd place in Pro Stock. Sunfire leads the stock class. Driver Noel Friedley won this race last year. He's teamed up with Tad Kimes of Crime Buster fame to try again. Hat Trick is in 2nd place in stock class. S99 Skater Express is running in 3rd place in stock class. Team Talent is in 4th place in Pro Stock. S125 Assault is running in 4th place in stock class, followed closely by Fast Lane in 5th place. Conk Attack is in 6th place in stock class, and Vigilante brings up the rear. Back up in our helicopter point of view cam with cameraman Billy Messier, we catch up with the race leaders. Agitator has led the pack for the entire first lap of the race. This is the father and son team of Alan and Kurt Dutman. Alan is the driver and Kurt throttles the boat. This 32-foot skater is putting on quite a show today. It's not that often that we get to see the UIM2 class boat outrunning the entire open class and superboat field. It's become a habit for the Eric's Reality race team to play cat and mouse with the other boats. Throttle man Bobby Moore has a cruise control style of throttling. He sets a pace and sticks with it. When he gets into a contest with other boats, he rides with them for a while to get their hopes up. Then he just pushes the throttles forward enough to blow by and break the spirit of the other team. That's just the game he's playing here today with Agitator. Although Alan Dutman has run strong all season in his own class, there's no way he can hope to stay ahead of this superboat. Agitator's twin 650 horsepower United Racing engines are no match for 3,400 horsepower worth of Gentry engines that power Eric's Reality. Agitator is in 2nd place in UIM2 Continental Point Championships behind Team Skater. This race is close, and a win here today could put him in position to overtake Team Skater by the next race. Some race teams would be cautious and try to conserve their equipment. But Agitator is a fierce competitor and won't let up, even in this obvious mismatch. Eric's Reality is the most winning boat on the circuit in any class. Driver Charles Marks has only failed to win one race all season. A win here will ensure that he becomes the 1989 National Points Champion. The main competition for Eric's Reality in this race won't be from Agitator. Superboat Jesse James has made a comeback after wrestling with mechanical problems all year. Right now, Jesse James is nowhere in sight, and Eric's Reality leads Superboat and overall. Marine Power is in second place in open class behind Assault. This 35-foot Jaguar is driven by Manny Fernandez and throttled by John Tomlinson. The boat was previously campaigned as Spirit of America by John Antonelli. It debuted as Hawk Marine Power in New Orleans this year. They've been dialing it in ever since and are currently in second place in national point standings, edging out John Antonelli by only 17 points. Special Edition is in third place in open class. This is another father and son race team. Father John D'Elia drives and son JD is the throttle man. Special Edition has won 3 of 6 races run this year and is currently the national high points leader in open class. Special Edition placed second in this race last year and is trying to better that performance. Jesse James is probably the most beautiful boat on the circuit. This superboat is a 48-foot Conquest catamaran. It's powered by 4 750 horsepower Batten performance inboards and powertrain outdrives. Chris Lavin drives. Bob Latham is the throttle man. They are currently in second place in superboat class behind Eric's Reality. John Antonelli in Spirit of America is running in fourth place in open class. He's trying to catch up to Assault, Hawk Marine Power, and Special Edition. As he heads toward the start-finish line, Jesse James starts to make a move on Spirit of America. Even as Jesse James moves to catch Spirit of America, he's got a long way to go to catch Eric's Reality. Eric's Reality is so far ahead of these two that he almost is at the start-finish line behind them. That's right, Eric's Reality will probably lap these two boats before the next turn. We go to our boat cam at the start-finish line. Assault is still in sixth place in stock class. Eric's Reality leads in superboat class. Sportsman's B class is led by Daniel Humes in Predator. Miss Don Q. Rom still leads Pro Stock, and Double Force is in second place in Sportsman C. Conk Attack brings up the rear in stock class. Agitator still the leader in UIM2 class. Back up on our helicopter point of view camera, we see a drag race heating up. Spirit of America and Jesse James are still dueling it out. Now there's a new player. Eric's Reality is a whole lap ahead of Jesse James and Spirit of America as he pushes on by him. As we approach checkpoint number 5, we find Assault. This is a rookie race team that has done very well in just a short time. Edwin Shearer drives this 38-foot Cougar, and David Fernandez is the throttle man. This is the old Systems boat and was US 1 last year. Right now they're in first place in open class. Our boat cam has picked up High Risk in second place in Pro Stock. Team Skater is in third place in Pro Stock behind High Risk and Miss Don Q. Rom. Hawk Marine Power is in second place in open class behind Assault. Eric's Reality still leads Superboat, having lapped the course and the competition. Jesse James is in second place in Superboat class, running a lap behind Eric's Reality. Back up in our helicopter point of view camera, we catch up to the open class leader, Assault. Edwin Shearer and David Fernandez are a rookie team driving a veteran race boat. You may recognize Assault as being the old Kaiser Systems boat. This is a real war horse and has proven to be a consistent winner year in and year out. Assault is a 38-foot Cougar catamaran. It's powered by twin 750 horsepower Merc-free engines and Merc Cruiser outdrives. Assault debuted under the name of Sheer Delight in Sarasota earlier this year and won its maiden race. Assault took second place in Bay City and placed sixth in Grand Haven. Even though this boat has campaigned for only half the season, Assault is already up to fifth place in national high point standings. We expect big things from this boat and this team in the World Championship. As we approach the start-finish line, we can see Special Edition. This boat is currently US 1 and the national points leader in open class. They passed the start-finish line having passed Hawk Marine Power and moved into second place in open class. Team Skater is still in third spot in pro stock behind Ms. Don Q Rum and High Risk. Vigilante is in fifth place in stock class, trying to catch the leaders. Number 26, Hawk Marine Power, is running in third place in open class behind Assault and Special Edition. Special Edition is moving out as he tries to catch up with the open class leader, Assault. Right now we're going over 115 miles an hour and we can't keep up with him. He always does this to us. Our boat cam at checkpoint 5 catches Sportsman's D-Class boat number 25, Warrior. He seems to be having a little trouble deciding which way to go around the buoys. Hey guys, it's over here. You better figure out this problem if they want to maintain their second place lead.
We'll return to the exciting conclusion of the race after our feature stories. Well, Inside Racing is brought to you by Marine Machine, where the quality never stops. We'll meet international photographer and offshore news correspondent, Mr. Ricky.
We go very in-depth behind the scenes because we cover not only the racer and the team, but we cover the guys behind it, the sponsor, the worker, the guy that's on, the girl that scores, or the individual who works back there, or the guy who collects the tickets or places the security. I think them people are very important. I don't think people realize the people who work behind the scenes that make this event come off. They are so important. They're just as important as the racer, the worker, the scorer, the registration. Come on, you got these people working. And from off that, here comes the racer. He gets the glory, the checkered flag. But there's the guy behind the scene. Offshore racing has become so professional, it's on its way. It's growing by leaps and bounds. In the last 3 years, we've grown 37%, maybe 42% by the year's finish. And that's the divisional boats. Now, you got to remember, divisional boats. And like I said at my awards last year, they're the meat and potatoes of offshore racing. Without the divisional boats, the national boats would suffer a great deal with the crowd today. And always remember, it's divisional boats who really put on the show. Everybody that wins in my mind gets equal, as you know, Peter, gets equal share in publicity. If a superboat gets full page, the boat in D class or A class gets full page. They're just as important to me. And from the past things, I think the people who support my boat most is the divisional guys. I've grown to love them, and we've become like a family. They really support me, and I want to thank them publicly right today. Thank you, guys.
Midnight Express takes us behind the scenes where Jill Berg explains how PR specialists help race teams attract those big-name sponsors.
What this is a book that I send out to solicit sponsors for John. And it is an interchangeable book, and the reason being that towards the back, I put in all the information. This contains information on the boat itself. Usually we have a color shot. I don't do this. The boats. He was running 2 boats earlier in the season. Information about what the value is, and mentoring all other sponsors that use offshore. In here, Diet Coke. I have Miller Brewing Company, Exxon Corporation, and I of course mentioned Zenith. And to show that well-established companies have recognized the value of offshore. Then we go ahead and explain a little bit what the different classes are. We go ahead and tell them what the schedule was for '89. We profile the equipment, and then of course I profile John. What I think sells John is this section alone is PR on John. So when I hand him a book like this, and more than half of it is articles that include mention of John Antonelli. I have just page after page of articles. As he keeps going, we keep getting more PR. I'm going to have to get a bigger binder. I think a lot of my success is because I love offshore. I get very excited about it. You take that same kind of person who is in a small boat, they can walk in and they can sell themselves a lot easier than hiring a company big to actually get them the sponsor. Their trick would be, like I said before, is every chance they get, create something for PR purposes. For example, I'm sure there are in Babe's video files or some of the files pictures of where it looks like the small boat is actually passing a superboat. It may be that he's on a different lap completely. It may be that the superboat's finished and he's going by. It may be a boat breaking down. The press doesn't know that. And especially if you can get a video of a smaller boat passing a big name superboat or a big name open class boat, that's what you show them. You don't show them the picture of you with your small, you show you passing somebody that already impresses them. And I think on a small boat, you can go for a smaller sponsor. You don't have to go after Coke. You don't have to go after Budweiser or Miller Beer. You can go after smaller sponsors. There's no reason, and if you look on a sports car, I did work with Indy before, years back in '81. They slot up the car space, and they sell a space this big on the car. So perhaps a restaurant in the hometown, a good-sized restaurant or a chain of small grocery stores can afford that big of a space on your boat. You don't have to sell them the whole boat. You show that we're business, we're professionals, we're not just out there running around. We mean business, and you're dealing with business.
Catch the spray. Call today. Want to get involved? Participant, sponsor, spectator, or fan. Call today while you can. Buy a rig off the shelf or custom build one to your specifications. Offshore racing, inboard, outboard, diesel. It's yours for the asking. Catch the spray. Call today.
There's a certain group of hard-working, hard-playing adventurers who take their recreation very seriously. They seek all the thrills and excitement life has to offer. The evidence of their enthusiasm for adventure is all around us in the form of the recreational vehicles they use in pursuit of a good time. Speedboats, glider planes, motorcycles, and jet skis. At last, the underwater adventure seeker comes into his own with the advent of Sports Sub. If you're one of the new breed and you're ready for the ultimate in underwater action, plunge into adventure in a Sports Sub. It's the personal submersible for the new frontier.
Laser Racing Engine takes us to Mechanics Corner. Cam 2 race fuel distributor Rick Williams explains the role of specialized fuel in offshore racing.
Well, we have a little higher octane, little more lead in the gas than you get for your regular cars. We bring three types to the boat races. We bring a marine gas, which is a 98 octane, has 1 gram of lead per gallon. We bring 114 octane, has 4 grams of lead per gallon, which is 40 times more than you get in a gas station. And then for the super boats and the open boats, we have 116 octane, which has about 5 grams of lead per gallon. You need high octane for the compression that these guys are running in the motors. Like your stock classes, they run the marine gas. They don't require lead and they don't require the high octane. Lead creates a cushion between the moving parts in an engine. The more lead, the more cushion you got between the valves and the seats. You know, it gives these guys a little extra edge. Cam 2 is made by Sunoco out of Marcus Hook, Pennsylvania. They refine. Sunoco is a refinery. They're one of the largest refineries in the country, and they make all of our racing gas. Cam 2 came about in the late 60s for Roger Penske and the late Mark Donahue. Roger Penske needed a racing gas for these high compression engines. He went to Sunoco, said, look, this is what I need. Sunoco come up with this, and hence came Cam 2.
Welcome back to the exciting conclusion of the Grand Traverse Offshore Classic.
We rejoin our race at checkpoint number 5. Jesse James is running in second place in Superboat class behind Eric's Reality. Special Edition is in second place in open class behind Assault. High Risk is in second place in Pro Stock behind Miss Don Q. Rom. Team Skater is in third place in Pro Stock. Vigilante is still in fifth place in Stock class. Hawk Marine Power is in third place in open class behind Assault and Special Edition. Chairman of the board is running in fourth place in open class. Back up in our helicopter point of view camera, we see number 39 Assault. They're still the leader in open class. We have a report that they may be assessed a 3-minute penalty for a technical violation. We won't know until later, but that could affect the entire outcome of the open class. We'll have to wait and see. Right now, Assault is still the leader in open class. In Pro Stock, we catch up to High Risk. They're currently in third place in the national points contest. Only 126 points separate them from First Defense in second place. A win here could move High Risk into second place in the national point standing. High Risk is owned and throttled by Rick Felson. The driver is John Engel. Last year, Rick Felson ran this race in stock class and placed 5th. He's probably going to do better this year because he's currently running in third place behind Miss Don Q. Rum and First Defense. Here's a unique boat in Sportsman's A-Class. AMT Diesel is a 23-foot Maelstrom. It's powered by a single 350 horsepower diesel engine. It's one of a very few American offshore race boats using diesel. Diesel power is more common in Europe. We expect to see it become more popular in the United States in the near future. AMT is driven by Brian Stensland and throttled by Joe Gear. We're back with Jesse James as he approaches the start-finish line. The driver, Chris Lavin, and throttle man, Bob Latham, are still in second place behind Eric's Reality. Unless Eric's Reality breaks down, there's little chance they can catch up. Right now, they're probably feeling pretty good knowing they'll finally get to finish a race this year. This boat has had its share of problems and hasn't been able to finish a race all season. It looks like they've got it under control and are assured of at least a second place. Sunfire is the leader in stock class and has broken the course speed record for their class. Spirit of America has dropped back to 5th place in open class. Hat Trick is running in second place in stock class. Hot has moved up into third place in Sportsman's D behind Hawk Marine and Warrior. Miss Don Q. Rom leads Pro Stock class. Skater Express is in third place in stock class. Assault leads open class, but is under the cloud of a penalty. Special Edition is close behind Assault in second place in open class. First Defense is still running in second place in Pro Stock behind Miss Don Q. Rum. S-125 Assault has moved up to third place in stock class. PDQ is followed closely by S-11 Fastlane. Pro Stock Boat High Risk is currently running in third place. Team Skater is in fourth place in Pro Stock. Back up on our helicopter point of view camera, we catch up with Superboat and overall race leader Eric's Reality. Consistent is the word you'd use to describe this boat. Charles Marks and Bobby Moore are the most consistent winners in offshore. As they round checkpoint number 5, Eric's Reality has the race sewn up. All they have to do is to make it back to the start-finish line one more time. A win here will ensure that Eric's Reality will be the national high points champion for 1989. US 1. Congratulations, guys. Jesse James is next around checkpoint number 5. They're in second place in Superboat class. They're running a whole lap behind the leader, Eric's Reality. Chairman of the board has picked up some speed and he's running in fourth place in open class. We'd like to remind our viewers that the APBA needs volunteers at all the race sites. Volunteers are the backbone of these events. Every phase from race registration to race patrols are staffed by volunteer help. Call the APBA National Headquarters at 313-773-9700 for more information. Moving up the course, we see the third place open class leader, Hawk Marine Power. Manny Fernandez and John Tomlinson are headed to the start-finish line. When they get there, they'll have to head back out for another lap to complete the course. For those of you who want to know more about offshore racing, Babe Productions has a videotape to help you learn. It's called Intro to Offshore and sells for only $14.95. It's available wherever Babe tapes are sold. This video is a perfect way to get your family and friends interested in the sport. It explains the differences in classes, equipment, and lots more. Intro to Offshore is the most complete documentary on offshore racing to date. At only $14.95, you can't afford to miss it. Hawk Marine Power passes Vigilante from stock class as he heads back out for his final lap. The race is over for Eric's Reality. They have won the race and pulled off the course to wait for their flag. Team Talon is bringing up the rear in Pro Stock. They get credit for hanging in there to the finish. Chairman of the board passes by at a blistering pace. He's in fourth place in open class. Jesse James will take second place in Superboat class. It's the best finish they've had all year. Congratulations, guys. Spirit of America is bringing up the rear in open class. Assault has come in first in open class, having almost lapped the last place open class boat. Special Edition came in second in open class. A penalty was assessed against the Assault race team for a technical violation. Special Edition is the official winner in open class. Chairman of the board is still headed out for his final lap. This boat is a 38-foot Cougar catamaran. Chairman of the board is powered by twin 750 horsepower Lamborghini engines and key caver drives. Right now the boat is running better than it's run all day long. You can hear that high pitch of those Lamborghinis coming from half a mile away. Nuri Sabunku owns and drives this boat. Hurley Stepp is the throttle man. This is another boat that has had a lot of mechanical problems. When this boat is running well, it really cooks. Some people think it's the fastest boat on the circuit. Chairman of the board won in Grand Haven. Chairman of the board is in 4th place in the National High Point standing behind Special Edition, Hawk Marine Power, and Spirit of America. There are currently only 39 points behind Spirit of America. A good finish here could move them up to 3rd place nationally. Right now you can see how well this boat is running. The tunnel is really working efficiently and packing a lot of air. You can tell by the gentle rocking motion that the boat is riding high on a cushion of air. This catamaran is taking full advantage of its design and getting everything it can from its tunnel. In Superboat class, Eric's Reality has won again. They've won 6 out of 7 races this year and are guaranteed the National High Points title. Jesse James has finished his first race and took a 2nd place. Little Caesars Pizza dropped out early with mechanical problems. They managed to take 3rd place today. In open class, Assault led the entire race. Judges assessed a penalty against him, giving the victory to Special Edition. Assault placed 2nd, and Hawk Marine Power came in 3rd. Agitator won UIM2 class after leading the entire field for the entire first lap. Team Skater came in 2nd. Eastern Express placed 3rd. Miss Don Q Rum continues to dominate in Pro Stock. High Risk moved up in national point standings as he placed 2nd. Team Skater came in 3rd. Stock class winner Sunfire broke all existing stock class course records. 2nd place winner Hat Trick also topped the old course speed records in stock class. Team Skater finished 3rd.
What an incredible race. And now let's take a look at the finals while we head back to the docks.
In Superboat class, the winners are Eric's Reality, Jesse James, and Little Caesars Pizza. In open class, the winners are Special Edition, Assault, and Hawk Marine Power. UIM2 class winners are Agitator, Team Skater, and Eastern Express. Pro Stock winners are Miss Don Q Rum, High Risk, and Team Skater. In the stock class, the winners are Sunfire, Hat Trick, and Team Skater. If your race team has any interesting ideas for feature stories, contact one of our site producers or cameraman. They've got those famous blue striped t-shirts on. We always are interested in new people, equipment, and race developments. You might even become our next featured race team. Give us a shout. We want to hear from you.
Congratulations to Predator, the Sportsman B class winner of the 1989 Great Lakes Trophy. Pro Stock boat Miss Don Q Rum was runner-up, and Eric's Reality came in 3rd in points for the series. Well, we'd like to thank the APBA, the OPT, and the Grand Traverse Bay Racing Association for helping us bring you the 1989 Grand Traverse Offshore Classic on video. We hope you've enjoyed the race and that you'll continue to follow the offshore action throughout the year. We'd like to remind our viewers that Bay Productions is the only video company officially sanctioned by the APBA. We'll be bringing the excitement of every race on the 1989 APBA OPT circuit right into your home with 11 editions of the Offshore Powerboat Race Report. You can keep up with the racing action all year long, and remember that the next checkered flag is just one tape away.